We're here with head coach Terry Horan after another win, 4th straight victory. This time it was over Augsburg last weekend at home. Let's go to the second half, especially because it's a tight game heading into at halftime, and then second half comes out. They put up a touchdown right off the board, and then you guys suddenly go 5 straight possessions with a touchdown each time. Did you guys make any big changes offensively at halftime to allow that to happen?
You know, we felt we had been executing pretty much all day, and we knew it was going to be kind of a track meet with this team. They can score in bunches, and so we just kind of continued to talk about how our first half went at halftime, some tweaks that we maybe needed to do. And our kids just came out and executed, and like you said, we scored on every offensive possession other than the last one where we took a knee. But it was one of those deals where, you know, Augsburg scores, we score. Then we got the big pick by Hank Van Loo, which was kind of a little bit of a nice turning point for us to give us the ball back and then to go down and score and take care of business. And then it was just a matter of just outscoring them, and you just never feel safe with that team. I'm so glad Scott is gone, and after 4 years, it feels like about 8 years of defending that guy. And incredible athlete, and certainly very good football player, and then Joey Sonnenfeld too. And those guys they make plays.
A couple of the big plays in the first half for you guys, you're kind of struggling offensively a little bit to get on track in that first quarter, but then all of a sudden Michael Herzog hooks up with Essler on a long pass, and you guys started to roll there. Talk about Essler then scores another touchdown pass as well. Talk about what he brings to that offense and how that kind of changed things dynamically.
Well, Essler is now kind of really starting to kind of come into his own. You know, he's a freshman, transferred from Duluth, young man on New London Spicer, and great athlete, and he's just really, I think, starting to feel really comfortable in our scheme. He brings a lot to the table. He's athletic, he can run, he can catch. You know, we got lucky. I mean, he was well defended on that, and he made a great catch and ran it in to kind of get us going. You're right, we started out a little slow, and that was a little bit of Augsburg's scheme. You know, Augsburg's a 3-4 defense, and they came out in an even front look, and something that we hadn't really prepared for. But at this time of the year, we've pretty much seen every defense, so it took us a few series to kind of get adjusted, and then we were off to the races. But yeah, then he made a great catch on a swing route on the west goal line end zone, and tapped his foot in for to get 6. So yeah, he had a great day.
All right, let's look forward. You're going to Hamline. You're back on the road at Hamline. You've had success with Hamline in recent years, but they always possess, you know, they've always have those great individual players, especially this year. Austin Duncan, probably the best running back in the league, just pure running back as far as what he's got around him. What do you need to do to shut him down and also to take away the Hamline offense?
Yeah, well, Hamline's offense presents, you know, a lot of problems for a defense from a, you know, preparation standpoint. They, you know, have about 34 different offensive formations. You know, not a whole lot of other different offensive plays, but you got to read, you got to recognize, and we need to be aligned right, and, you know, looking for tackle overs and all that kind of stuff. But Duncan what he brings to the table is he's an extreme hard runner. And he's an old school power back and then some, and probably the toughest running back that we'll have faced thus far. I mean, we've seen some really good ones, but this kid's extremely tough, and you know, we need to tackle well, we need to get all 11 to the football, and but they present a lot of problems from, you know, your prep standpoint and being ready, being aligned right, and having the right assignment and the proper technique, and going out and doing and executing your job.
And then, too, defensively, it's kind of a little bit of a mystery from what happened last week against St. Thomas. St. Thomas was able to score some points on them. But they have a pretty good defense, you know, coming in. They have a lot of returning players defensively that could pose some problems. So what do you guys need to do offensively?
Well, they do have some, what we feel, really good defensive players. They have 8 returning starters from when we played them a year ago. They're aggressive, they're active. They run to the ball extremely well. You know, they're an even front defense, which again, you know, we don't see a ton of. but that always creates some problems, and everybody defends us just a little bit different than they do anybody else, just because of what we do. So, you know, like I said earlier, you know, this time of the year we've pretty much seen about everything. So we throw the kitchen sink at our guys pretty much all week long as we're running our option stuff just to get prepared. I know this, they're going to play hard. They're well coached. They always play well at home. You look at, you know, they start out 2-0, and then they play GAC, and then they play St. John's, and then they play Bethel, and then they played St. Thomas, and now they're playing us. And GAC and St. John's, they went down to the wire with Gustavus at home, and Gustavus can score with the best of them. And they actually, you know, were up on St. John's, and I think at one point, maybe it was halftime, it was 14-13 or something like that. But they actually played the Johnnies extremely tough at home too. So we know that they're what they've shown this year. They're a different football team at home, which is where we're at. And with 3 games to go for us, you know, this is the next step, and we're excited about the opportunity.
Finally, one of the biggest things, maybe not physically this week, but also mentally, is your ability for the players not to look forward to the next week when you have St. Thomas. It's obviously, you know, sometimes they call it a trap game. How do you get the guys to focus mentally and not look forward to that next game?
Well, we basically have been in these in this situation ever since our loss to St. John's. You know, we talked after the St. John's loss because, you know, we've been an outsider looking in the last 3 years with an 8-2 record. You know, after our St. John's loss, we've been in playoff mode, and we can't you know, fall asleep or look ahead, and nobody can look ahead of really anybody in our league, because everybody is capable to knock off anybody, and on any given day. And if your A game isn't there, look out, because it could be interesting, and that's not what we want. We want to be clicking on all cylinders, and we got a lot to play for.
Good luck on Saturday.
Thanks so much.